Today we'll be going over the Palace Autumn 2020 Week 1 drop list and some of the resale predictions. Like this video and subscribe for more resale predictions and drop lists just like this. The Palace Week 1 will be dropping August 7th. Alright, first up we got this Palace Spitfire collab. I think this one looks really cool and I really like the jacket. I'm guessing prices are going to be pretty high, at least for the retails, but I definitely think there should be at least a little bit of resale just because it's a Palace and a Spitfire collab, and it definitely is a really cool hoodie, and I definitely think it's good personal as well. So I think a lot of people will be going for this, so it will sell out pretty quickly. Next up, we got the Palace Tri-Zooted Shaka. This is going to be a Tri-Ferg, and I think this one looks pretty cool. I actually like the colors on this. I mean, they've got a lot of different colorways for these, so there definitely are colors that are a little bit better than this pink, but I definitely think it is a pretty cool t-shirt. I just don't really like how they use the Tri-Ferg in this one. And I feel like the Tri-Ferg is very overused now. Like basically anything Palace puts out has a Tri-Ferg on it, at least in some form. And I just think this is a really overused kind of like logo, and I just don't really like it myself, but I definitely think it will sell out and there should be some resale value just because it is a Tri-Ferg. Next up, we have this Paris Palace Tri-Ferg logo. I really like this. I think it is a pretty cool jacket, and although the blue color isn't the greatest, I definitely like the other colors, the ones where the parrot like pops out a little bit more. White and black look absolutely amazing. I like the black one a lot, and I definitely think the black one will probably be the best to sell just because the parrot absolutely pops out on it and it just looks amazing. But I definitely think this is a good jacket for the personal and for resale. Should resell a little bit over retail. Next up, we got this dude t-shirt. I kind of like this. I feel like it's kind of boring, but it is like a Palace photo tee. Those usually resell for a good amount. And although I don't really know if this is a cultural reference or like a movie reference, I think this should resell for a little bit if it is a movie reference or anything else like that. But I just don't think it's that good looking of a t-shirt, and I wouldn't buy it myself. But if it is a movie reference, it should resell for a good amount of money. Next up, we got the Palace Europa jacket. I actually kind of like this one. It kind of is like a spin on the Eurovision thing. It's Palace Vision. And I think it is pretty cool. I definitely think some people like it, but I just don't think there'll be that much resale value for it. So I wouldn't go for it for resale. I would just focus on the Tri-Ferg branded stuff because that is, of course, going to do the best just because Tri-Fergs are like very associated with Palace and the resale with Palace. Next up, we got this Palace Avirex No Snakes jacket. I like this one. I really like the back logo on it, but I think the front does also look pretty nice. I think if it's for like a reasonable retail price, I definitely think people would go for this, but I just don't see that much resale value, so I would stay away from this if you're going to go for it for resale. Next up, we got this Palace Skate Tool. I think this one looks pretty cool. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I definitely think it could be a good personal. I wouldn't suggest going for it for resale, but I definitely think a lot of people want this for the personal. Next up, we got the Palace Air Fresheners. I think these are just like a troll item, but I think it is pretty funny that they're having Palace Air Fresheners. I definitely think this is a great personal item because I feel like just a lot of people want this to just put on their car just so they have Palace Air Fresheners. But I definitely think it is a pretty cool item, and I definitely think it could resell, especially if you get a ton of these in bulk. Next up, we got the Palace Typo Wave jacket. I think this one's pretty cool. I feel like it's just an item you can wear and just be like you're wearing Palace, but it's not too flashy or anything. I think a lot of people will like this one, but I just don't think it's that really great for resale, and it's kind of cool because it is reflective. So I definitely think it's a good personal item. Next up, we got the Palace P-Field jacket, and like I said with the last one, it's a pretty cool personal item because it's just got like a little Palace logo on it, but I just don't think it'll be that great for resale. So I'd Next up, we got this Palace 6-panel. These have already like dropped in a pretty similar look to this, and I think those did pretty good for resale, so I would expect these to also do good for resale. I would only go for these in a multi-cart, but I definitely think there is money to be made with these 6 panels, and I just think they look really nice, so I definitely think it is a good personal item as well. Next up, we got this Palace sticker pack. I think it's pretty, they got a lot of cool stickers on it. I just don't really understand why we have to pay for a sticker pack, but I don't know, I'm used to Supreme where they just give you free stickers. But either way, these stickers are pretty cool, so I think it is kind of worth it to go for the sticker pack. Next up, we got the Palace Spitfire long sleeve. I think these look really nice. I definitely think it's a good personal item. There should be a little bit of resale value on these, but I wouldn't expect like a ton. I definitely think this is a really cool item, and I definitely think it's worth it to go for, just to buy. It's just pretty cool as a long sleeve. Next up, we got the Europa bottoms. I think these look really nice. I just feel like these joggers are just, I don't know, they just look really good, and I feel like the tracksuit of the like Europa top and bottom, it just looks like amazing. I wish the top was a little bit better, but I feel like these are just perfect on their own, and they're a really good item to go for. Great personal. There might be a little bit of resale value on these. I don't really know. Next up, we got the Palace boards. There are a ton of these, and I think they're fine. I just don't think there should be that much resale value, because I think there's like 15 of these, and I just don't think any of them like look amazing. I don't know. I just feel like these are like really boring items. There might be like one or two that I think could resell, but I just think with high retail prices, they're not really going to have any resale value. Next up, we got the John and Molly Moth jeans. I think these look, I don't know, they're just really interesting item. I feel like they could resell for a lot, just because it is like an interesting and unique item that Palace is dropping. And I just think a lot of people that like wear these like super out there jeans really might like these. Myself, I wouldn't wear them, but I feel like a lot of people could like these, and I definitely think there is some resale value with these. Next up, we got a Palace egg mold. I don't know why they made this. It's just another troll item, but I feel like it is something that's like a cool personal, just because it's like a troll Palace item. I don't really know. I'm going to stay away from this, because I don't think it'll resell at all, and I just don't want it as a personal either. Next up, we got the Palace Leave Me Alone shirt. I don't know why they made this. I think it's just another troll item. That's literally what this, like half this drop is, just troll items. But I don't think it's that bad looking. I think there are a lot of better looking items, but I think it is kind of like alright. I think it's kind of a cool personal, but I just don't think it'll resell for anything. Next up, we got the John and Molly mouth hood. I think this one looks pretty cool. I definitely think it looks better than the other John and Molly mouth items, but I just don't think it'll do that well, just because, I don't know, the design just looks so weird and just like kind of creepy, especially when you have it on a hoodie. I don't know, I just don't like it. I do like the Palace spell out on the front though. That's pretty cool. Next up, we got the Palace Spitfire tee. I think this is just one of the laziest designs they've done in this whole drop. I just think this is really boring, and I think they could have done a lot better with this one, but they really just, I don't know, they failed. Palace is one of the like, they just don't do any designs, and they're just so like uncreative, and they just do all these cringy things. I don't really know. I don't really like a lot of stuff Palace does, but some of the items are pretty cool for the personal. First up, we got the Palace Bellman t-shirt. I think this one's pretty cool. I just feel like it's kind of boring. It's got like kind of a cool logo. It's like Triferg on it. I just feel like they use this Triferg in literally everything they put out. Like, can you guys just put out a shirt without a Triferg on it? Like, you could just put it out, take off Triferg, and it'd look the same. I don't know. I just feel like they shouldn't use Triferg on everything. But still, it is a fine t-shirt. It's not amazing, but it's not like that bad either. Next up, we got that S-line insert hoodie, and I think this one actually looks really nice. I feel like it's just, you know, a plain little Palace hoodie that you can just wear anywhere. I like the little logo on the top, and I just feel like it's a Palace item without like screaming Palace like the Triferg does. Next up, we got the Palace Spitfire 6-panel. I think this one looks pretty cool. It's got a little bit of mesh on the back. I just don't think there'll be that much resale value for this, just because it's like a mesh hat instead of like all like just the regular like corduroy or whatever it is. I just think it's pretty boring, and I don't really like it that much, so I won't be getting it, and I just don't think it'll resell for that much either. Alright, next up we got the Palace Basically a Sock. It's just a sock. It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it does look pretty nice, but I just don't think there's anything like special about these Palace socks compared to just regular socks, and the price are going to be so much higher, so I just don't think it's really worth going for these. Next up, we got the Palace Ballistic Holdall. I think these look pretty cool. It's just like a regular duffel bag, and I think it's just, I don't know, it's got a cool Palace logo. It's reflective as well. I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's kind of worth it for the Palace price, just to kind of get like a Palace bag. That's, I don't know, it's pretty cool to just have for the personal. There's going to be no resale on this though. Next up, we got the Ballistic Backpack. I think these look pretty cool. I don't really like the tan colorway that much, but the black definitely looks pretty cool. And I think these, I don't know, they're just like a regular backpack, and I think it's like pretty cool. Maybe wear it to school, maybe wear it on like a North Face, like you're climbing a summit or something. I don't know. It's a pretty cool backpack that looks like it can just go anywhere. Next up, we got the Ballistic Crossbody. I think this one looks pretty cool. I feel like it's definitely the best bag they're dropping this whole release. And I just think it's like, I don't know, a classic Palace bag. I think as long as these are pretty low in retail, I think it's definitely an item that could resell for a little bit, but I wouldn't go for it just expecting it to resell like that, just because it's like a bag, and bags usually don't resell for like a lot of brands. Last up is the Palace Fruity Tea. I just don't like this at all. I don't understand why you get like this graphic and just make it massive and just put on the shirt like this. I just feel like it doesn't look that great, and I don't think it'll resell at all, and I don't think people want this for the personal, so I would just stay away from this because it's not a good item to go for at all. Alright, if you want to join a really good Discord for free, there's a link in the description to my Discord. In my Discord, we got monitors, we got slots, we basically got everything, and I think it's just a really good community to join, and especially because it's free. Like with anything that's free, you can just get it, or you could leave. So with something that's free and provides actual value, you kind of have to join it. So also, you can leave whenever you want. So if you don't like it, you don't like the notifications anymore, you can just leave. But since it's something that's free, it's not like you wasted anything on it. So join the group. There's a link in the description. There's a lot of information in there. We got basically everything in there. Anything you could want sneaker-wise, it's in there. And we got monitors. We got everything you'd want. If you're a sneaker reseller, if you're just any kind of reseller, we got monitors, we got slots, we got a marketplace, we got tickets, we got everything. Anything you can want, we got it.